What's happening, YouTube? You guys are tuned into currently the Avengers of Life Games and Current Culture, me and Larry, but we will be changing our name in the new year to the dinner group. What's happening? We got power tonight. We've got something Jordan Peele said that might offend white people. And of course, we are going to finish up on that S show of a debate that we had last night. And there's only one clear cut winner. But before we do all that, Larry, finish discussing what you was telling me before we came on there while we allow people to get in this live stream.
Yeah, I was just talking about I've been having a bunch of these Trump trolls hit me up recently, on various platforms. Some of them have been hitting me up on YouTube here, some of them have been hitting me up on my Facebook page, some of them on Instagram, just different places they've been hitting me up. And this one woman, older white woman, it looks like from her photo, she hit me up and asked me, she says, "I don't understand why you hate me for being white." And I wrote her back. I said, "I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know you. And I don't know what makes you think I hate you, period. And what makes you think I hate you because you're white."
Mm-hmm.
And she wrote back something to the effect of, "Oh, well, you're talking bad about our president and you talk about race stuff." And I was like, and I was just sort of like, the stuff that she was saying, I was starting to wonder, like, maybe she's not fully there mentally or something, because just the things she was saying, the way she was saying them, didn't seem like she was able to fully articulate her thoughts or something. I don't know. But, I've been getting a lot of this, and I was trying to explain to this woman, look, she kept on asking, she kept on saying that I hate her. And I was like, look, I don't hate you. I don't even know you. But I told her, I said, look, I was asking her, "You telling me that you support Trump? Are you a white nationalist? Do you support white nationalists, and do you support white supremacy?" And she kept saying, "Oh, I love everyone. I love everyone. As long as they love me, as long as they treat me with respect, I love everybody. I don't see color," and blah, blah, blah. And all this bogus stuff people always say. And I kept asking her, do you support white nationalists and white supremacists? And she kept saying, "Oh, I love everybody." So I told her, I wrote back again. I told her, I said, "Look, either answer my questions or stop writing me. Do you support white nationalists?" Then she tries to write back, "Oh, I don't support them, but I love everybody, and I'm not a white supremacist." And I was like, well, then I don't understand how you can expect me as a black person in America to support a president who is a white nationalist and a person who is a white supremacist. I don't understand how you expect me to be able to support somebody who just told on national TV, told a white nationalist group who wants to cause a race war, who has been out there, has stated that one of their goals is to start a race war because they would like to, they have the idea that they will win this race war, and they want to bring America back to what it was when black people were basically enslaved. And so I'm trying to figure out, how do you support that? And you are trying to say that you love everyone. How are you trying to say that you are not a white nationalist or a white supremacist when you support someone that supports those groups? And that's what his agenda is. Basically, he's saying to them, stand by so that we can implement our agenda when needed. And so, and then she goes off on some tangent about, she doesn't like socialism. Socialism is talking about all kinds of free stuff. And this is another thing. I don't think most people out there really understand.
Okay, now I'm gonna stop you right there. Save that for the political section. I'm gonna stop. We just gave them a preview.
That's what I've been dealing with. I've been trying to avoid some of these trolls. I've been working, but they've been for whatever reason, they've been hitting me up a lot. They just keep popping up. So
it's election season, brother. And anybody who has a voice to try to tell people a better path, of course they're gonna hit you. They don't want you to talk. But we're gonna give you a whole 20-minute segment at the end of this live stream where we're going to go back and review that debate. But before we get into the power stuff today, let me shout out everybody. You guys have been so good to us the last couple of months. We certainly hope that you stick around after power, because we do a lot of stuff on this channel, as you can see. So I'm going to shout out everybody that's in here. Trisha C, of course, Cash Money, Buddhist Elder, the Positive Pusher Support Gaming, Arlene Hicks, Futuristic Mike, check out his channel. 351 Cleveland, D'Angelo Washington, I've never seen this name before, but he says, gentlemen, I love all your shows. Stay blessed, healthy, and safe. Lamont, love your investment on your channel. And people, I'm going to put out another stock market investing video tomorrow to keep showing you guys how to make those gains. And my folk, Kendall Suggs, is in the building. In case you missed the way we're going to do this show, today we're going to start out talking about the new cast member of The Power. Then we got a theory we're going to drop on you guys about Power. From there, Jordan Peele made an announcement that might anger some white people, and we're going to discuss that. Then we'll end on probably the single worst debate in American history. And I don't want to hear none of this lumped in shit. Well, I'm just mad at both parties. I don't want to hear none of that. I get sick of hearing that when it's really your party creating the issue. But because you want to lump everybody into one code when your party is really the root of the problem, you say everybody. But we'll get to that. First things first. Power, ladies and gentlemen, casted Jackie Long. You guys might remember Jackie Long from ATL. He was in Idlewild. He's also done some production where he produced TV shows. The brother holding that Coke bottle is the one that is going to be the new cast member of Power Book 2 Ghost. But before we talk about who we think he's going to be, did you guys know that he had beef with 50 Cent not too long ago? Of course, we tried to call it out and say it was a fake beef, but a lot of people thought it was a real beef. Let's take a look at what the beef was all about, and then I'll finish my point about why I thought it was a fake beef the whole entire time. Take a look.
So, I know everybody been on this Instagram and all the social media stuff y'all been seeing, saying 50 saying I'm broke, I owe him money. And
I never said that, Jack.
First of all, let me get y'all to the real story with all that bullshit he talking about. Years ago, literally years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 6.
It wasn't that long, Jack.
We in the Palms Casino gambling. All right, 51 something. He leaves,
Yep.
He come back, he give me a bag, say, Jackie, hold this. I don't even think I even know if the motherfucker won. He just
No,
gave
you
me
know
a
I
bag.
won, Jack.
I looked at his 50 bag, so I'm like, I ain't gonna look at the nigga bag, it's his bag. He said, hold it. I hold the bag, we get back to the hotel. He tripping, talking about 3,000 is missing.
Where the money, Jack?
$3,000 is missing. And you doing all this shit, Five?
They can't say nothing. Oh, if they do, we move it. Okay. Only them. They got it up. They got it
I'm nervous about
Just relax, Amanda. What did you nervous?
Hold up, Amanda got some Gucci shit on. Flip, I see it from
wood.
here.
Relax.
What's the Gucci shit you got on, Amanda? I see it.
Yeah.
Wait, spit on it. Spit on it.
Oh, shit. Oh, my goodness.
Here we go.
Oh, we got action. Oh, my goodness. He said, oh, we got action. Oh.
Now everybody knows 50 Cent. It's not funny. I shouldn't laugh, but he's been pegged as being very petty. He's had friendships come and go. He had a fallout with Money Mayweather, which that was real. That was a legitimate fallout between him and Money Mayweather. And the so-called beef between him and Jackie Long, I felt like it was just a stunt because 50 Cent is good at doing that, acting like he has beef with someone to promote, maybe get some publicity. And this casting just solidifies what I thought about that situation. Now, Jackie Long is a talented actor. I think he can pull this off. But the question I pose to everybody watching and Larry, what is his role going to be in Power Book 2?
Man, I have no idea. You know?
You want me to throw out some suggestions and you pick which one you think could be it? So,
all right.
Okay. They could sprinkle him into this show and somehow or another have him connected to Effie and he be somehow or another connected to her connect, or he is the connect, or something to that effect. That's one theory.
Okay.
Here's another one. Everybody loves this character, which I don't know how this character got to be such a pop culture phenomenon among Power. Could he be related to Breeze? That's people won't let Breeze die. Could he have some connection to Breeze? Next guess is, could they introduce him as another person to help teach Tariq the game? Larry, I gave you some theories. You give me some answers.
Man, I think he's going to turn up as Drew's ex-boyfriend. I think soon as Drew hooks up with that basketball player and he's looking like he's going to get into a new relationship, dude's going to pop up as Drew's ex and he's going to cause all kinds of drama. That's what I think it's going to be.
Lord, see.
That's where I think they're going with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that wasn't even an option on the table. I said an Effie connect, a connection to Breeze, or a connection to Tariq. And my man done went, when I say left field, I mean he went way left field.
That's where I think they're going with it.
Dude hit a left field bunt, if you feel me. No, man.
I'm just saying, and the reason why I say that is because if their beef was real, you know 50's petty. 50 will be like, "Oh yeah, you can come on the show. We'll cast you. You're gonna play a game, nigga. That's what you're gonna do." Because 50's petty like that. So
you think, man? But I mean, even let's just say 50 is petty like that. Jackie Long,
if he is petty like that, we know this.
But Jackie Longwood still had to sign on to do it, and it don't look like he's
looking at that photo right there. If they ever decide to do a Rakim biopic, I think he's the cast. I think they ought to cast him.
That's perfect. That he would be perfect for Rakim. I feel you on that. I definitely feel you on the Rakim thing. I mean, look, at this point, who the hell knows what he's gonna play? But what we do know is he can act. He's also producing, and whatever role he plays, he's going to do it to his full potential. I think the missing piece.
You know what it could be? It could be after the way Kane stomped that dude down and beat that dude's ass. He could come back as a leader. I forgot the name of that clique that
GTG, baby, GTG.
Right. So he could come back as like an OG from GTG who gets out of jail or something, or maybe he comes in from out of town or wherever, maybe he's just a GTG OG, comes back after young dude got his brakes beat off, as Monet said, talking about beat the brakes off that dude. So I mean, he may come back and lead that clique into getting, and either getting back right with him or lead that clique into going to war with him.
Yeah, I want you guys to stand by because I do have another theory that's going to bounce to GTG involving Lorenzo Tejada and Effie, and I'll get to that in a minute. But let me read what some of the facts. Man, y'all be bugging, man. Y'all do not hold back. Y'all about like 50 Cent in these comment sections. Where was this crazy one that I just saw?
Michelle has a good one. Said he might be Zeke's dad.
Here we go.
Like that.
This is what I was going to say. One says he's going to either be Zeke's father or big brother. He's going to show up after Zeke gets killed in the crossfire. I can agree with that because right now everybody thinks Zeke is going to get the axe. He's kicking the bucket. He's going to 86 it. I don't see how we don't get that kind of. There's going to be some collateral damage, and it's probably going to come from retaliation from the GTG folks. But it's going to also be a matter of how does Tariq get caught up in this crossfire? What you think?
Man, I mean, on some level, it doesn't really matter how he gets caught up in it because Tariq is slick. He's like Bill Clinton. He's like Slick Willie. You can't touch him. Like even if you do touch him, you can't keep a grip on him. I mean, if you shoot him, bullets are gonna slide right by him. He's gonna be in the Matrix, just up there like Keanu in the Matrix. Nothing's gonna touch Tariq. So. I mean, on some level, it really doesn't even matter how Tariq is involved with it because it's not going to touch him.
True. That's definitely true.
But it would be interesting to see how he comes in. I mean, I could very well see him coming in as an OG member of GTG. He could come in, as someone said, as Zeke's dad. I could see that. That would be a really interesting play because obviously because Zeke is Monet's cousin. Then if he comes in as his dad, there's that familiar connection. I don't know if he would be Monet's brother, or if he's just the brother-in-law or something like that. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how all that plays out. But I think it could be. I think it could be fun, however it goes down. But I think you said it. It probably will come in at the end of the last episode. Maybe Zeke gets blasted and he shows up on the scene after Zeke gets blasted, wanting to know what's up and wanting revenge and all that. So, you know.
And then you could catapult him to next season. Be real simple.
Right.
Real simple.
Right.
All right.
Introduction and move on.
Right. That's not all we're going to talk about involving power. We got one more thing. But if you're finding me and Larry for the first time, please subscribe to my channel, subscribe to his. Links are both in the video description of this channel. We talked this past Monday about the destruction of the Tejada family, as well as who is Effie's secret connect. Now, people are in love with this girl. Take a look at this chick. This is Effie right here. People want to see her back on this show. I got another one. Got another one for you. They want to see Effie up here bad as hell. They don't want to let Effie die. All right. And I think I figured out a way that we can get the destruction of the Tejada family co-mingled with a connection to bring Effie back. Do you guys not remember that someone said they didn't want anything really to happen to the Tejada family? Take a look at this. I mean, to the GTG family. Take a look at this.
Lob's father took a bullet for me. Send Drew to talk to him.
That's Lorenzo Tejada saying Little Guap's father took a bullet for him. He wanted Drew to make peace, not Cain to make war. That is going to get back to him. He's going to find out Monet has something to do with it, and that is going to be the deterioration of the family. And we might figure out that he has been keeping Effie, who could possibly be his daughter, from Monet because she was a side piece chick. And then we could possibly see the opening up of that storyline too. Larry, what you think?
Yeah, it could be, or it could be like maybe Effie's is like Guap's daughter, and maybe her connect was GTG or something. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, it could be all kinds of stuff mixed up in there. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some direct connection between Effie and Tejada, and see what goes down with that. I don't know, because it seems like, she made it seem like she was on her own. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tejada early on stepped out on Monet and he had this daughter out of wedlock, and in order for him to keep the peace in his own household, he just like sent her to private school and kept her taken care of.
Exactly.
And that was that.
Yep.
So,
exactly.
So I can see something like that.
Now, before I move on to finish my thought on that, let me shout out the brother D'Angelo Washington. Anytime your name is D'Angelo, I bet you got like 60 babes following behind you. I've never met a D'Angelo who ain't knocking them back. Brother, whenever you super sticker this channel, we give you something visually funny to say we appreciate you. And let's see here. Which one can I give him? I'll give him this one because we haven't used this one in a long time, because we're this grateful to what you just did.
Am I the meanest?
Sure enough.
Am I the prettiest?
Sure enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Sure enough.
Well, who am I?
Sure enough.
Who am I?
Sure enough.
I can't hear you.
Sure enough.
The Shogun of Harlem.
That's right, brother. As of right now, you are the shogun of this live stream for that great super chat. I appreciate you, and I really, really thank you. Now back to...
Man, I'll tell you, when you show a clip like that, I feel like I want to see a little vanity in there.
Well,
for all y'all who forgot about, we all love showing up. We all love, Bruce Leroy, but let's not forget Vanity was in that spot.
Hey, well, you know what? I'm gonna step my game up. I'm gonna step the game up. I'm gonna keep the classics coming. As long as people keep super chatting, you will keep getting these classic throwbacks from whenever.
If you need some memes, this debate was giving you all kinds of memes that you could cut up.
It sure would, but you know what? I love my audience too much. And I'll get to that at the end of this debate. I mean, at the end of this live
shut
stream.
up, man.
We'll get there. We will definitely get there because that was not what we should be showing to the rest of the world. I mean, the rest of the world outside of America already has a bad perception of us. When they think of us, they think of people like Trump, fat, entitled, redneck,
fat, ugly Americans.
Think you know something and you really don't. That's what they think of America outside of America, but we'll get to that in a minute. Now back to little Miss Effie and this casting and her connection to Lorenzo. Lorenzo is going to be mad when he finds out that Kane beat up Little Guap.
Yeah.
And like Larry said,
he didn't beat him up. He put him. That dude's got to be in the hospital for a minute.
He embarrassed him.
He beat that dude damn near to death.
He embarrassed him. He beat him like an African drum. He beat the hell out of him. And
that wasn't even embarrassment. I mean, I think that dude is a hair's breadth away from death. That's just, I mean,
okay,
man.
So, ladies and gentlemen, my homegirl Muchella, who hangs with the fellas, is saying that Effie is one and done. We won't see her no more. Not this season anyway. So anybody that's having that little wet dreams about Effie, there's a great likelihood we might not see her. But it's always fun. It's always fun to speculate.
She'll be back.
Yeah. But I think
she might since Keisha's not going to Pepperdine, maybe Effie's going to take her scholarship, go out to California, hook up with Tommy, and Tommy's going to mentor her. And she's gonna be the West Coast ghost.
Man, in any event, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on, I'm coming
up with these great theories for you, and you're just dismissing them.
I didn't dismiss nothing. I didn't say nothing. I mean, you put your theory out there. It's out there into the ether. The world heard it, and hey, they know now. But ladies and gentlemen, our final thesis to support what we said on Monday's live stream about the destruction of the Tejada family. It's not going to come from Tariq. It's probably going to come from the daddy because he is going to be not happy about what Monet did to Little Guap and him having that code to Little Guap's people. So, and we'll leave it at that. And now we've got some big news from Jordan Peele. Larry, I can't wait to ask you this question. This is why I bring you up here. So that when I need to ask these crazy ass questions, I got somebody who's willing to answer these questions. I want you to take a look at what Jordan Peele has announced. And I've got two major questions for it. Take a look at this. Jordan Peele says, Black actors will always take center stage in his movies. I don't see myself casting a white dude as the lead. Whoo boy, woo Nelly, Larry. My questions to you are, is he going to get backlash from the whites? And if I'm a white person, why should I continue to support Jordan Peele? And can he legitimately pull this off? So that's three questions.
Yes, and yes.
What, and what? Please explain.
I mean, he's gonna get backlash from them because he's saying things that they don't want to hear. Obviously, there's gonna be people that sit up there and say that's terrible, that's racist. You can't say that. If a white person said that, they would be kicked out of Hollywood. They'd be ostracized. Yada yada yada. But it doesn't matter if a white person says it or not because there are plenty of white people doing it. There's plenty of white directors and white writers and white studio executives that already do it. They don't need to say it in public. They're just doing it. And so for him to come out and just say it is just something, he's just being straight up and real saying, no, I'm just not going to do it. I'm basically what he's saying is I'm going to write movies about Black people and there's not going to be white people in there putting on blackface for my movies. So I'm going to keep making movies about Black people and there's going to be Black leads because that's who the movies are going to be written about. I mean, that's just what it is. You know, you have white people all the time when black people complain about not getting roles. They say, "Oh, well, this movie was written about white people." No, it's not. This movie's written about superheroes. Superheroes aren't real. They could be anybody. You know? Oh, well, this movie was written about white people, so we can't have them in there. No, this movie was written at some fictional time way off in the future in some space galaxy, and it doesn't exist. It's not real. So it could be black or white, doesn't matter. So, you know, but you do have writers that are doing stuff. Also, they say, well, I don't want to write for black people. So they'll write stuff like, you know, some piece on 15th century Europe or something. Okay, there was probably not many black folks around back then. So you're going to cast all white people. But then you have people like, what's his name? The dude that married his daughter. What's his name? The little nerdy looking dude with glasses from New York.
That married his daughter.
Yeah, he married the little Asian girl that he adopted.
Oh, geez, I didn't hear about that.
What's that dude's name? I think I want to say it's Woody something. Woody.
Okay.
Woody. Oh, what is his damn? Somebody in the comment section knows. Somebody out there knows. It's not Woody Harrelson. It's Woody Allen. There it is. Muchella says Woody Allen. You know, like Woody Allen. Woody Allen doesn't write anything about for black people or put black people in his stuff. He's in New York City. The dude writes basically all of his movies set in New York City, and he doesn't even have black people as extras in his movies. Tell me, when do you go to New York and you don't see black people?
But
I don't care where you are. You can be on Wall Street. You can be on Fifth Avenue. You're gonna see black people somewhere. They're gonna be there because they have money. They're gonna be there because they're working. They're gonna be there because they live there, because they're parking a car. They're gonna be there because they own a business or because they're selling something. They're gonna be there.
Wait, man, I'm lost.
Woody Allen doesn't put black people in his movies.
No, I ain't lost on that. You mean to tell me this dude adopted an Asian daughter, then he married her?
Yeah. Yes.
What the? And there's apparently there wasn't a whole lot of outrage about that.
Oh, there was a whole lot of outrage, but it's Hollywood and he keeps making them money. And that's the other reason why I was going to say yes with why he's going to be able to get away with it, because as long as he keeps making money, as long as he's been cranking out hits. Okay. As long as Jordan Peele keeps cranking out hits, he's going to keep making Hollywood a shit ton of money, and they're going to allow him to keep doing what he's doing. There's going to be some people that may get mad and say, well, why don't you put a white person in there? And someone in the room is going to say, don't mess with the formula. It's working. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Let him keep doing what he's doing. We'll complain about it when it stops working. You know?
I think it's gutsy for him to come out and say that and do it. And if he can pull it off and keep doing it, because he's putting out quality movies with black leads. This is what we've been talking about. Black people are capable of doing for years. And it's not that not only is putting out quality flicks, but he's getting a wide swath of audience on top of that, which means he has complete crossover appeal. You don't see people being stuck with, okay, this genre of movie when it comes to Jordan Peele. He's got movies, people are crossing over into his TV shows. He's got crossover appeal. And I think if somebody can pull it off, man, the things going on in his head, Mike can pull this off. But again, Larry, can a white person say he's racist for this stance, even though he's married to an Anglo-Saxon woman?
I mean, they can say what they want to say, you know, but if dude's saying basically, I'm going to make movies about my people, and so I don't see myself casting a white person as a lead, then he's just saying what it is. He's going to write and tell the stories that he wants to tell. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like, what room do they even have to complain? They've been doing that, and they've been doing that since the movie industry started, and they are still doing it to this day. There are white writers and white directors and that are out there that have never had a black lead in their movies. And so, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So you can't sit up there and complain, oh, this dude's racist for saying that, when you're not only have you done it in the past, you're still actively doing it. So, okay. I mean, the reality of it is that you have one one dude out there who's making a lot of money, who's doing well for himself, and he said something that people aren't going to think is politically correct. What he really should have, I mean, if he sounded to me like he was when he made that quote, whatever he said, that it sounded to me like he was probably in a I don't give an F moment, because if he was trying to be more diplomatic, he probably could have just said, you know what, I make movies about my people, and I can't imagine a white person playing one of my people because he's not white. It would be wrong. It would be disingenuous. It wouldn't be accurate. So no, I'm not gonna do it. You know,
right. Understood.
And so that's basically what it is. I mean, could some of the stories, like that story that he wrote with us, could that have been white people? Sure. He could have written that for white people. You know, the one that he made before that, I forgot the name of, the one where they were snatching black folks. You know, could they have done something? Could they have made that with white people somehow? Sure, possibly. I mean, there were plenty of white people in it, but he could have flipped that up somehow. I mean, you can flip anything up. I mean, there are characters people complain about. Why does this character need to be a man? Why can't it be a woman? We saw that. We're seeing that right now in Boys with what's her name, with
Stormfront.
Stormfront was originally a man in the comics, but they made it a woman. So I mean, it's always possible to flip characters and rewrite stuff to make it to whatever you want it to be. But if the dude is saying, I'm telling stories about my people, and so it's going to be my people in these movies, well, you know what? For the last 100 years, we've had stories about white people. You know, I mean, the movie industry's been around for like, what, 100 and some years, 112 years, something like that. We've had stories about white people. We've had very few stories about anybody else. We've had probably we've had white people. And then beyond that, we've probably had a number of stories about black people. And I'm talking about in this country, because I mean, I was going to say there's not many stories told about Asian people, but if you look at all the movies that are told in Asia about Asian people, I mean, throughout China and Hong Kong and all of the Asian, you know, all of the Asian continent, all of those, and that's not even talking. I mean, I'm just talking about Far East Asians. So we want to talk about Asians in general. All the Bollywood movies and all of them. There's a ton of those movies out there too. So black people just have not been represented well or frequently when it comes to movies, and so I just don't think any white person out there has a lot of room to talk. You know, They can and they will, because that's what they do. But they just don't really have any room for it. So
what I would say is, if you're enjoying his movies the way he's doing them, keep enjoying them, because the man's putting out good stories. It's just that simple. Keep it moving. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we about to finish up all politics. Man, oh man, boy. If you find me and Larry for the first time, please subscribe.
Hold on, let me stop something. Let me stop you right quick, bro. I'm sorry. I just have to address Chris P. And Chris P, I hope I'm not going in on you too hard, but here's the thing. It says, so Jordan Peele won't be casting his real life mom in any of his future movies. LOL. I understand you trying to make some dig. You're trying to throw some shade at the brother, trying to make it seem like, okay, he's mixed, so he's dissing the white side of his family. He won't be casting his mom. And this is part of the problem with people when stuff like that comes up, what Jordan Peele said, people get all butthurt and emotional and stuff, and they don't read the stuff. They don't actually read it, or either they don't have the proper reading comprehension to enter a discussion like this, because it did not say that he wasn't going to cast white people. What it says is he wasn't going to cast him as a lead. And so that's what it is. So it didn't say what, like, sure, if he wanted to cast his mom in a movie, he could cast his mom in a movie. Every movie that he's put out, he's had white people in there. They're just not the lead. That's it. There's a big difference. And so if someone's mad about the fact that he's not going to cast his mom or other white people, he never said that. And I don't believe that, based on what I've seen from him thus far, that the stories that he's going to tell is not going to have white people in there. Because when you are writing stories in America about black people, white people generally play a part of those stories. And so there's going to be white people in those stories. They're just not going to be the lead. And they need to deal with it.
Okay. If you're finding me and Larry for the first time, please subscribe to his channel, subscribe to mine. We cover a range of topics on this live stream that we do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night. And tonight, we're going to talk about the debate. But before we get to what was a pure shit show, an embarrassment for America, let me shout out all my people out there supporting my Miami sports teams, the Heat and the Dolphins. The Heat are playing right now. Nobody's giving the Miami Heat, and nobody's giving us a shot. Nobody thinks we can beat LeBron ass for leaving us. And that's the main reason I want them to win the title, is because I want to say, LeBron, you had no business.
Didn't leave, y'all.
You had no business leaving. You had no.
Miami.
I'm going to mute you because I have a mute button. This is what Chris Wallace should have done to Trump. He should have hit the mute button. Let me finish. We and Miami and Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra, we were very upset when LeBron James took his damn talents back to Cleveland and left Dwayne Wade high and dry. So Miami, my daughter already has a Miami Heat outfit. Please win tonight.
I know you just did not get up there and talk about he left when you, and then you name Pat Riley, who left LA. I know you're not complaining about people leaving one place to go to the other when y'all stole Pat Riley.
There's a difference. There's a difference.
There's a difference, huh?
Yeah, there's a difference. LA cut Pat Riley. Pat Riley didn't want to leave LA. LeBron wanted to leave Miami and left. We wanted to keep him. We was trying to give him everything. But in any event, there's somebody else I want to leave too, ladies and gentlemen, and that's Donald J. Punk-ass Trump. So before I even get to it, that debate, if you saw it, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching us from another country, that is not a representation of the whole nation. I had people hitting me up saying, talking about me and Larry, oh, you Biden supporters, y'all are sheep, black dude. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, bruh, if you still supporting Trump, your ass is asleep. Got the nerve to call me a sheep.
He's wide awake. He's a self-hating Negro who's wide awake. He's fully awake in his self-hatred.
Yeah, he is.
When you have a president that's out there on national TV in the first presidential debate supporting white supremacists and telling them to stand by for his orders, and you as a black person or you as a white person who is also an American, for any person out there who is an American citizen or wants to be an American citizen or even claims human decency, if you are supporting white supremacy and you support Donald Trump, who supports white supremacy, you no longer have a claim to have any human decency left in you. And if you are one of those minority groups, you have no claim to having any level of intelligence left in you.
Yeah, so before I let Larry unleash, I'm going to show a clip. I'm going to show 2 clips in this segment. One is going to be of the debate and why it was an atrocity. And then I'm going to show some of the responses to the debate. So let's start out with just this one small clip of what made this thing horrible. And I don't want to hear none of this. It was just a bad debate, no matter who you're voting for. There's a reason why the fucking shit was bad. Take a look at this.
Hey, just a tiny fraction.
As I say, this is open discussion.
No,
let me ask you about.
This
you'll
is
be happy,
big stuff,
sir. You'll be happy. I'm about to pick up on one of your points to ask the vice president, which is he points out that you would like to add a public option to Obamacare, and the argument that he makes and other Republicans make is that that is going to end private insurance.
It is not. Well, vast majority of the American people would still not be in that option. Number one.
Joe, you agreed with Bernie Sanders, who's far left, on the manifesto, we call it. And that gives you socialized medicine.
Look, hey,
are you saying
I'm not going to listen to him. The fact of the matter is, I beat Bernie Sanders.
Not by much.
I beat him a whole hell of a lot. I'm here standing facing you, old buddy.
Pocahontas would have left 2 days early. You would have lost every primary.
All he knows how to do is
Super Tuesday. You got very lucky.
Here's the deal. I got very lucky. I'm going to get very lucky tonight as well. And tonight I'm going to make sure, because here's the deal. Here's the deal. The fact is that everything he's saying so far is simply a lie. I'm not here to call out his lies. Everybody knows he's a liar.
But you
I just want to make sure.
Joe, you're the liar.
I want to make sure.
You graduated last in your class, not first in your class.
I want to make sure.
Mr. President, can you let him finish, sir?
No, he doesn't know how to do that. He has,
You'd be surprised.
You picked
You'd be surprised.
the wrong guy, the wrong night at the wrong time.
Listen, you agreed with
Here's the
Bernie
deal.
Sanders to the
The
manifesto.
whole idea.
Let him.
There is no manifesto. Number
Please
one.
let him speak, Mr.
Number
President.
two.
You just lost the left.
Number two.
You just lost the left. You agreed with Bernie Sanders on a plan.
Folks,
absolutely
folks,
agreed
do you have
to,
any
and under that
idea
plan,
what
you have
this clown's
socialized,
doing?
They call it
Mr.
Do you have any do?
socialized medicine.
Mr. President.
I'll tell you what.
Folks, let me tell you people something. You don't go to a presidential debate thinking you're going to have a comedy show and a strip club all at the same time. It's not even fair for us to call a clown show a circus in comparison to what we saw last night. That was horrible, and it was all predicated, number one, on Trump and number two, on Chris Wallace. Why was it predicated on Chris Wallace? He's supposed to be the damn moderator. Now, if you're not going to give that man a button to kill his mic, Chris Wallace, you've got to get in there, tell him to shut up, or you're going to take his time from him. Period. Number two, the reason why it was horrible on Trump's behalf is because he interrupted Joe Biden 120 times. He lied 100 times, ladies and gentlemen. Fact checker said he lied 100 times. So you're interrupting 120. You lied 100 times. And then something that stood out to me the most was, if you really have substance, why do you keep interrupting Joe Biden? Now, Joe Biden did, I think, his debate wasn't stellar. But when you are in the ring, how do you get lower than the underside of a snake's belly? You can't unless you inhale. And so he held his own, and I give him credit for not being rattled by this stupid tack that Trump was trying to pull. And before I give it a leg, I want to say this. Trump said in his statement that Joe Biden and the Democrats, if they get control, they're going to shut down America to try to fix COVID. And if they do that, we're going to have an even worse increase in drugs, people getting divorced, alcoholism. Trump named all these things that he's blaming happened because of coronavirus, people going psychotic, all that stuff he's trying to say happened on the coronavirus. If anybody decided to check the numbers, which I did, no, Trump, all that shit started going up 2 months after your ass took office because people was tired of you. Coronavirus didn't do nothing but add icing on the cake, and you didn't even handle that right. Larry, the floor is yours. Tell me your response, and then I've got a response from some other people that was at the debate.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that, and it was, I mean, it was like a presidential blood sport in some respects, and part of it that it was just really shameful, and because Trump was just up there telling lie after lie after lie. He kept interrupting, and you know, some people may say, well, Biden was giving as well as he got, but as we all know, Biden, that I don't think that is Biden's nature to do that. Biden is one of those dudes. I think he's like a lot of us. He's probably like you, a lot like me, in the sense that we're not going into a room looking for a fight. We're going to walk into a room, and if you punch me in the face, I'm going to punch you in the face, the throat, the neck. I'm going to kick you in the head. I'm going to put you down and keep you down. But I'm not going in there looking for a fight, you know? So when he went in there and Trump started a fight, Biden told him to shut up. He called him a clown. He called him a liar. He punched him. He kicked him. He put him on the ground. He kept him down there because that's what you do with a bully. Bullies don't come for people that know when they know they're going to get their ass whooped. They pick on somebody else. You know, it's a little bit different with this case because, well, there's only one person running for president. He's the only person he really can go after. But even then, he's still trying to go after. He's in that debate instead of trying to go after, you know, Biden. Really, he's going after Obama. He's going after Hillary Clinton. He's going after everybody. And you know, I mean, in all seriousness, it's ridiculousness. He's talking about, why didn't you do this over the last 40-something years you were in office? Well, anybody who's informed, and that's probably part of the problem, is his voters are often not informed and they don't understand how government works, just like he doesn't. But if you understand that he was one of 100 senators, and he was one of 535 members of Congress. And so he couldn't do anything on his own. He was able to go out there and build coalitions, and he can cast his vote like the other senators in office, but that's it. He didn't have the power of the presidency. And whereas Trump does have the power of the presidency, he still needs the other branches of government. He still needs, the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court when necessary. He still needs the other branches, but he also has the power of executive order, and he has used it, and he could make substantial change if he decided to do so, but he won't do it. And so it's just some of these things that he talks about that he's going to do. You're not doing them. You have no intentions on doing them, and you never will. And so, this idea of just wait and see, just wait and see. No, you've had 4 years. We waited. We didn't see anything. So I don't know. The whole thing was a mess. I thought Chris Wallace did a piss poor job as a moderator. I think he tried to do a decent job at times, but I still think, regardless of whether or not he tried it, I think he was a piss poor moderator. They probably would have had a better time of it if they had 2 moderators instead of just one. We have seen that plenty of times where there's either been a small panel of moderators with 3 or 4. There have been times where there's been, dual moderators. I think maybe this would have been a better situation with more than just one moderator. I think Chris Wallace was just outmatched and just couldn't handle it. I mean, people called it all kinds of stuff. They called it an S show. They called it a freak show. They called it a circus. They called it a wrestling match. No one's wrong in their description of it. It was all of that and worse. And it was, frankly, it was an embarrassment to the world. I mean, as an American, it's embarrassing that the world sees that. And at the same time, as a Democrat, I'm happy that Joe Biden did not let Trump just run roughshod over him the way he has with other people, the way he's done with people in his own party, the way he's done with people in other parties. I'm glad that when he started talking about his family, that he didn't go the Ted Cruz role and just, suck up and do nothing. I'm glad that he pushed back forcefully and say, and defend his family, his name, his sons, defended his current son that's alive, and talked about how proud he is and acknowledge the problems that he's had and still say, I still love him and I'm still proud of him. I mean, here's the crazy thing. You have Biden's son who may have had some troubles. He may have had some trouble in the military with substance abuse, and he still has come out and still has found a way to make a successful life for himself. This dude's made more money than Donald Trump. And so what? Donald Trump's talking bad about him. Oh, he was put out of the military. First of all, Donald, you never even served in the military. Neither did your dad or any of your kids or anybody in your family. So you don't even have the right to speak about any of that. Biden can say it. Biden's family served. His sons have served. I can speak about it. My father served. My grandfather served. I served. You don't get to say shit. You never served. All you did was talk about veterans are losers and I mean, it's crazy. It's asinine. I mean, he's up there doing, the shadiness that this man does. I mean, he's up there paying his teenage daughter as a consultant, so that he can write stuff off. And I mean, he's not only is he doing shady stuff with his children, he's implicating them in crimes. I mean, this dude, he's not a patriot. He's not a good father. He's a garbage human being. He's just a garbage human being. And the fact that Biden actually got up there and defended himself, and I get it. People always want to say that people want to have this when they go low, we go high. I get that, Michelle Obama, love you, no disrespect at all. But there are times when they go low that you have to kick them in the face, because that's what it is. That is what it is. You cannot have somebody down there low trying to cut you off at the ankles and you just stand there and let it happen. So sometimes you have to fight back. And that's what it is. And I think that Joe Biden did a good job of fighting back.
He did. What's up, Tim Windsor? I don't want you to cuss me out again because I didn't recognize you the last time, but you in the building.
Big Tim.
That was something that I thought was staged the whole time. And I kind of feel like if you don't know your answer by now, I don't want to deal with you. You shouldn't even be in this country because you're a part of the problem. Take a look at this clip, and then I'll summarize exactly what I'm talking about after you guys see what I think was a sham. Everybody that you see out here, I think is a complete sham.
Toward one of the candidates?
Well, it's so distracting that I just found that I was agreeing with a lot of what President Trump was saying, but it's not what he says, it's how he says it, and it's so distracting, and he's saying it when he's not supposed to be saying it, that I'm finding myself being swayed against him, not toward him, even though I believe in what he's saying.
Kevin, you said this was a train wreck tonight.
Train wreck disaster, yeah.
Explain why. And you mentioned you actually voted for Trump in 2016. You did not like what you heard. No,
I wasn't pleased with it at all. The whole interrupting started with him. President Trump was very childish. I was also disappointed that Joe Biden got drawn in. But I can also understand how difficult it would be not to when you're hearing, that kind of stuff, crazy stuff about his family that's so clearly not true. How are you going to leave that unspoken and not say anything against it? So I get it, but it was too bad.
But did it bother you at all to hear Joe Biden calling the sitting president of the United States names, calling him a clown and that type of thing?
I think we pretty much have gotten past that now, haven't we? I mean, he's spent the last 5 years calling Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas and, talking about AOC and all the other people. And, so is it great that Joe called him a clown? No, but when the shoe fits. When the clown shoe fits.
Walk with me.
Man, there ain't no way in hell that them people was undecided votes, especially that last guy. Now, I like what he said, but he was well versed to be a quote unquote undecided voter. And then back to that first chick. Larry, if that ain't the most confusing thing I've ever heard in my life, she said she agrees with a lot of what Trump said, but doesn't like his delivery. What? Who says they like the icing on the cake, but don't like the whole damn cake? I mean, come on, lady. Man, stop it. Stop it. I mean, Larry, hold on, let me finish. Let's say that she's true to what she's saying. You mean to tell me all the worst instincts that are this man and the behavior he's exhibited, you would still vote for that for the few things you like? That's a problem that we're having in this country. Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, I think part of that is that you have these white folks out there like her that they want to maintain a system of white supremacy, and for them, they like white supremacy. They don't like
Larry. Let me stop you. Larry,
Donald Trump putting it in.
Let me stop you. We got to discuss this. Steve says stooping to low levels doesn't help. It's like when protesters turn it into riots, it hurts the message. Man, let me tell you something. If at some point in time a bully is beating you up, how do you get rid of his ass? You got to turn around, punch his ass in the eye, kick him in the balls, and he won't bother you no more. Floor is yours, Larry.
No, I totally agree. You don't have to, if you're being bullied, you don't have to win the fight. You just have to make sure that he doesn't win that fight either. And that's what it comes down to. If you're getting beat up, if you're getting bullied, I've told kids this before. I've told kids this when I was kids. I told kids this as an adult. If you are being bullied, you don't have to win the fight. You just have to make sure that they don't win either. When you go home with a black eye, make sure they're going home with a bloody nose, a busted lip, a broken eardrum. Their eye is busted open, black something. You make sure that when they go home and they think they won that fight, they're feeling the pain. When they look in the mirror, they're seeing their wounds and feeling their wounds too. So the next time that they want to go ahead and try and flex a little power and they want to go ahead and start trying to bully somebody, they realize that the next time they try that with you, they're going home feeling pain too. So that's really what it is. You could try it. I mean, if they want to kill us, We know what it is. We know that white people don't care about their own lives. We see it out in the streets when they're running around without masks and they're out there just doing their own damn thing, spreading COVID like there's no tomorrow. We know they don't care about their own lives. We know these white politicians don't give a flying frags fart ass shit about anybody else but their own selves and their own power. So we know they don't care. The only thing they care about is their own finances and power. So when you burn that shit down, it hurts them. Why do you think they're so pissed off? You think they care when we burn down our own neighborhoods? You think they gave a shit about that?
No,
you think they care when we burned our own shit? No, when we burned down their courthouses, when we burned down their fancy ass stores in downtown areas, when we burned down their shit, now they're mad. So yeah, when they kill us and we burn their shit down, it's not hurting the message. It's making them listen. It's making them stand up and pay attention. That's what it's doing. So I don't give a damn if they burn every freaking store, every courthouse in this whole country down if they keep murdering us. I don't give a damn. Keep on doing what you have to do to get the message out. If they want to listen peacefully, then let them listen peacefully. But if they won't listen peacefully and they're going to keep killing us, do what you have to do to make them hear you.
And Buzz, I did not miss your super chat, my homie. I'm going to play your visual thank you when we get to the end. I want to finish about Trump. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Trump has given our enemies the blueprint to how you divide and destroy this nation. It's as simple as this. These same very people that are in all these white supremacy groups, the Boogaloo Boys, the Po Boys, the Sugar Boys, the Gas-Filled Tank Boys, the KKK, they all claim that they love their country and all that shit. They wave flags, don't dread on me, all that shit. While the intelligent people who would like to see our demise outside the United States is looking here saying, we've got this useful idiot Trump keeping these people at each other's throats because he's stoking up these white nationalists who they hate anyway. They think they're the weak link in America. Don't let them fool you. They don't think black people are the weak link. They think these white nationalists are the weak link because they're not that smart. And they run around with guns claiming they love the country when they know that they really don't care about most of the population. Our enemies have seen if you can plant somebody in office and do what Trump has done, you can fracture this country to a point where if they decide they want to walk right on in here and take over, damn it, they can. Because we're going to be too busy having to deal with these idiots trying to get rid of them and show that they're equal to us when they claim that their love is for the nation, when it's not. It's not. And you can't tell me it is. They done caught Trump up in so many snafus with the military, and instead of them being mad with him because they're supposed to love the country, they love the military. They ride around with Blue Lives Matters flags and don't dread on me flags, and I love my military. But when do you see them go to a rally to denounce the shit that Trump has done to the military? Larry, have you seen one?
No, because I'll tell you what it is. Ultimately, all of those things, all the don't tread on me and the we support our troops, all those are very subtle dog whistles. What they're saying, they're not saying we support our troops. What they're saying is we support white people because they know good and well when they say we're support, they don't even look at black people as full citizens. They don't even do that. When we had Barack Obama who was running for office, the first thing they tried to do is say that he wasn't even a U.S. citizen, you know, right. And he was born in the U.S. And then at the time, John McCain, who was running against him, wasn't even born in the U.S. John McCain was born in Panama.
But you know what? But you know what?
So you're questioning whether or not Barack Obama is a citizen. So they don't. Right. They don't really look at us as citizens. And so when they're talking about the troops and veterans, they're not talking about us. They're not talking about the people that look like us that serve. They're talking about the white dudes that serve. It's all a bunch of dog whistles. We know what it is. We know what it is.
Yeah. Now, having said that, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of the progress we have made as minorities have come because we've had a lot of white people sacrifice to help us. And there are a lot of white people watching us who believe in what we're saying. And for that, we want to say thank you. Continue to turn people into understanding that we're not fighting to take anything from you. We're fighting for equality. Equality means everybody gets a fair shake at what we're doing. And last point I want to make, ladies and gentlemen, make sure if you're sending in your ballot to vote, you fill it out properly. We're having an issue in my state, North Carolina, where they're already trying to throw out ballots because you're supposed to have it has an affidavit section up there where a witness is supposed to sign. And a lot of people don't know that. And guess whose ballots are coming back, being thrown away? Minorities. Make sure you know the rules of the ballot in your state if you're going to vote that way. Me personally, I'm going to early vote. I don't want no flim flam. Not only do I need a Joe Biden landslide, I need a Senate landslide. I need the House to stay blue, which is going to do that. And then I need us to start turning this country around so we can get this coronavirus done and I can get back outside chilling with my baby girl so I can go hang with my homeboy Larry. Larry, last word goes to you, then we out of here.
Yeah, I just want to say that, you know, if you're out there, if you're one of those people out there that's trying to waffle around and say, oh, I don't support either one, or I don't like either side, here's the deal. We're no longer talking about just simple policies. We're no longer sitting around talking about if one person wants to raise taxes over the other. We're not talking about trickle-down economics. We're not talking about infrastructure plans. We're not talking about foreign policy. We're talking about life and death here. We have a president who is a white nationalist. We have a president who is out there supporting groups who have called for race wars in this country. So for everybody who's talking about that they support Trump for this or that, you're also supporting all that other shit. And I say to you, don't come to me talking about, oh, we can be friends. No, we cannot. No, we cannot. We will never be cool if you support white nationalism. If you support their agenda, you support the people that support them, we will never be cool. You are who you are. I'm glad that people like you are being revealed now so we can continue to know who you are and we can treat you accordingly. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm going to leave it at that. There's a lot of people out there that and I get it. For white people, for them, they think that it's just that it's for them. They think it's just policy. It's just this. It's just that. For them, it's nothing but another presidential election. They're okay no matter who wins either way. But I'm not. My family is not. That man over there and his kids are not. It is not just another election. It's not just policy. It's a matter of life and death. And so when you look at our lives and you just throw them off and cavalier about it and you just say it's just policy, that tells me what you think about me. And so I already know that because I've seen the history of this country. I know that every time I go outside and I see you people walking around without face masks. So yeah, I get it. I know who you are and what you are, but don't try and come in my face and try and act like we can be cool. We can't. We won't.
Mm-hmm. So ladies and gentlemen, make sure you get out there and vote. We will be bringing at least one long segment a week up into the election about why it's important you have to vote this bum up out of office. And that's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, get yourself a life gain. Go Heat, go vote, wear your mask. Until that next Sex is Hell video. Oh, Buzz, how can I forget? I can't get out of here without giving you your feel good for the day.
703.
Let me see here. Because this one always makes me laugh for your super chat. This is the last thing you guys will see tonight, and we're out of here.